WWE Clash of Champions proved just how unpredictable WWE's writing can really be, as I got a total of two predictions, right on the entire card. Nevertheless, welcome to my WWE Clash of Champions Reactions 2016. The first match on the kickoff show was Nia Jax versus Alicia Fox. This was one of my predictions that I got right. Nia Jax, she didn't squash Alicia Fox, and Alicia Fox actually showed some pretty good in-ring work. And I like Alicia Fox's character, and I like they finally gave Nia Jax an actual opponent. So this was relatively successful. The only thing about it is I wish it went a little bit longer. I wish it was a little bit longer match. So I'm going to give it a grade of a B-. The first match on the main card was Gallows and Anderson versus The New Day for the Raw Tag Team Championships. And I liked the beginning of the match a lot. I really liked how Gallows and Anderson went right after The New Day, showing the aggressive side that they really haven't shown in the WWE. So I liked that. I liked most of the match. The finish was weird because Xavier Woods is a dirty finish for the babyfaces, which is strange. You don't expect that. And I really expected Gallows and Anderson to take the titles, but I guess they're going to try to keep them on New Day for a little bit longer. I'm going to give this match a grade of a B+, because the match itself was good, but the finish was a little bit weird. Next match was TJ Perkins versus Brian Kendrick for the Cruiserweight Championship, and the match was amazing. The match wasn't amazing. It was good. It wasn't what I expected, but it was a fine match. And what really puts it over the top is the new storytelling elements that they're doing. Brian Kendrick gets the bad guy, headbutting him after the match while he was trying to show compassion. I liked the story elements, and the match was not what I expected, but it was still very good. So I'm going to give this a grade of an A-, mostly pushed over by the story, and the match was also solid. The next match is match 7 between Cesaro and Sheamus, and the match itself was a candidate for the best match on the card. It wasn't quite there, but the match itself, once again, was amazing. You guys worked really well together, and the finish is what puts... What's a little bit weird. They should have just had Cesaro go over, in my opinion, and give him that championship shot, because Sheamus would still look strong because of the throw-ins he got at the beginning. So I'm going to give it a grade of an A-. This would easily be an A+ if it would have just been a regular finish, but the finish is what puts the grade down for me. Sami Zayn versus Chris Jericho was another great match on the card. This card is just filled with great matches. Once again, the result is a little bit weird because Chris Jericho losing wouldn't have hurt him at all. But I think there is a reasoning for it, which I'll mention later in the video. But they both put on a great match. I just kind of think that Sami Zayn probably should have gone over, but that's just my opinion. So I'm going to go ahead and give this a B+. The next match is for the Raw Women's Championship and is between Bayley, Charlotte, and Sasha Banks. For me, this wins the best match on the card. Loads of cool spots with the triple drop kick, with the moonsaults from Charlotte, and it ended on like a boot, which was unexpected. That hasn't happened in years. This match was one of the better women's matches that I've seen since Bayley versus Charlotte. And also Charlotte versus Sasha. Or I'm sorry, the first one. Bayley versus Sasha and Sasha versus Charlotte. This was great, and I can definitely see women main eventing a pay-per-view in the near future, because especially these three, they're all really good. Charlotte's heel persona is great, and now they can continue the Dana Brooke storyline, which I wish I would have thought about when I was doing my predictions, because it makes sense to keep the belt on Charlotte to continue that. Which is also a good storyline. So I'm going to give this the highest grade possible, an A+, because I really think that they nailed the ball out of the park with everything involved in this match. going from the best match on the card to what I think is the worst match on the main card. There's some people that would disagree with me. Rusev versus Roman Reigns for the United States Championship. The match itself was slow, and it was overshadowed by bouts like Jericho, Zayn, and the Triple Threat match, and Cesaro and Sheamus. Since coming after all those, I think the fans were tired out. They were not into the match at all. And, of course, Roman went over, which I said in my predictions I was scared that was going to happen. But it was brought to my attention watching some other videos online that at least Roman isn't going to be in the main event picture, which he should be as far away from as possible because people don't like him. And maybe he can get over, but the match itself was what really put the grade down, and the result, in my opinion, it should have been Rusev. He's a great heel. But they decided to put Roman over in the match itself. Basically, the only good part of it was the very end. Most of it was slow, so unfortunately I'm going to have to give this match and the result a D+. The main event was for the WWE Universal Championship between Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins. My prediction was Kevin Owens. That's the second prediction I got right. Nia Jax and Kevin Owens were the only two. And I said that Triple H might help Kevin Owens. He didn't. And but starting with the match was amazing. Both of these guys are probably two of the best performers on the entire roster. I think that's a WrestleMania main event if they go a little bit higher with it. But Rollins and Owens worked really well together. The problem with the match was if it was just Jericho, I might have been okay with it because Jericho's really good. But I don't like how Stephanie got involved and they did the ref bumping thing. I think the finish of the match was way too complicated, and that was the problem with it. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to give this a B- because the ending was confusing, but the match itself is probably what gets it up into the B's. It would be in the A's easily without the strange finish. But what I was talking about earlier with Jericho going over Zayn, I would predict that Kevin Owens would turn on Jericho in the near future, and then they would have a Universal title feud between Jericho and Owens. Owens, of course, going over, but just one last thing, one last feud for Jericho, because I believe that he's leaving at the end of the year. So I would predict that would happen, and that's why they're building Jericho. I don't know, because I think that it's going to continue and Sami Zayn might win. Who knows? That's just a far-off prediction by me. But that's about it for my prediction, or for my results and grades for WWE Clash of Champions 2016. Leave your comments down below on your thoughts on the show and your thoughts on the video. And I'll see you for my reactions to Raw and SmackDown later this week. Bye, guys.